Hi, this is Curious Mystics Podcast, formerly Spiritual Mamas Podcast. Together we explore the mysteries of the spiritual world, sometimes boldly,
Sometimes cautiously.
but always with open hearts
and curious minds.
Let's go. Hey friends, it's Aericka. Before we get into today's amazing episode, I wanted to talk to you about Full Circle Forestry Collective. It's a new nonprofit that my brother Paul and a few of his friends have put together in the wake of Hurricane Helene. Hurricane Helene devastated Western North Carolina, and they are still trying to dig out from underneath of it. And what Full Circle Forestry Collective does is they give free storm debris cleanup and then use that debris to give back to the community in the form of free lumber and firewood. They are currently taking donations to get insurance so that they can start this project and get it up and running by August. So if you feel so called or feel aligned with this, please go to fullcircleforestry.org and donate on their website. Again, that's Full Circle Forestry Collective. They would love your help, and it's an amazing organization. Thank you so much, and let's get into today's episode. Hello.
Hello.
It's Aericka.
And Kim.
From Curious Mystics Podcast.
Thank you for being here with us today.
How are we doing today?
We're managing.
We're doing.
Yeah, today is a rough one for me, but we're here, so.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I don't have much to report either. Nothing too exciting. I made homemade granola last night, and I just ate it right now in my yogurt, and it's making me happy, so.
Isn't that the best when you do something like that? I always feel better when I've done that in the past, but I don't do it often. Like overnight oats or homemade granola or, any of that stuff.
Yeah, I used to make this granola all the time and then just stopped, and I haven't made it in years. So yeah, I was excited.
Cool. So. Well, that's a good start to the day.
Yes. And I have a good iced coffee. So, all the things.
Maybe that's what I need.
You do. Yeah. In my opinion, a Starbucks or iced coffee or latte run is always a good thing. I always need an emotional support latte. So
emotional support latte.
Yes. So it always cures what ails me. So yeah, I highly suggest. So today we're talking about Vortexes. So this is our second one in our every first Tuesday in the month.
Tuesday of the month, yeah.
Yeah, so this is the second one where we talk about Vortexes and different ones and how you could find them and what's cool about them. So last week we started with Sedona, and Sedona is just the whole city is a vortex basically. There are so many of them. We went over the first 5 I think in June. So today we're going to go over the second part, and as a reminder, vortexes are areas of concentrated energy that's spiraling upwards from the earth, and they're typically a mix of both feminine and masculine energies, or one versus the other.
I don't know if there is an answer for this exactly. I recognize that we can tap into that energy, we can see that energy, we can use that energy, we can see that the energy's there. But I wonder why in these places specifically the energy combines that way.
Well, so they're supposed to be in places that ley lines intersect. So there's more energy in those areas, I guess.
Yeah.
So why they hit so hard, I don't know.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm asking. I'm I feel like a 2-year-old. I'm like, but why?
But
Why are they there?
But
Why are they like that?
I don't know. Maybe when we get into ley lines, we'll find out because
Yeah.
that is yet to come or has already come. I don't know. But yeah, maybe that'll tell us something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the Earth is full of just magnetic and
Mm-hmm.
spiritual and grounded energy. So I mean, could just be
Yeah.
spots that just
They just
burst
naturally like come together and intersect more there.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right. So first one up for the part 2 of Sedona Vortexes is Courthouse Butt Vortex or Boot.
Okay. It's B-U-T-E.
Yeah, B-U-T-T-E.
B-U-T-T-E. Yeah.
Vortex. So unlike the vortexes that we talked about, typically the energy goes in spirals. This one actually shoots straight up.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it does. And it's known for enhancing personal and spiritual growth. So if you're feeling stuck or need help reaching your next goal, this would be a good place to go and like bring your manifest journal and do some work there.
Yeah. It seems like a direct connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a quote from SedonaVortexes.com says, past generations who place their homes in Sedona say that they have experienced deep spiritual connection while in the red rocks of the courthouse butt vortex. And it's located just east of Bell Rock that we talked about last time and north of Oak Creek, which is another town in like outside of Sedona. And to get to it, you could start at the Courthouse Butt Trailhead or the Yavapai Trailhead. And it's about 4.2 miles out and back hike.
Okay.
So. And I think I mentioned last time that there are really no easy hikes in Sedona. So this one's probably, I think this one is probably one of those when you have to do a little bit of scrambling, not like terrible scrambling that you have to do, but there is some complexity to it.
Which is good to know. Like, it's important to know if you're going to be doing something like this, you need to be prepared in multiple ways, not just, okay, my goal is to manifest or to connect, or you have to be like prepared for the work that goes into it.
Especially out west. So we're from the East Coast. Like you could just go on a hike.
Yeah.
Like if it's hot, you have to like bring some water, maybe some snacks. But like I feel like there's not a ton of danger to a degree in most of our hikes. Like I mean, if you're looking for a more adventurous one, there are. But I feel like there doesn't take as much planning. But when you go out west, it's just more complicated. It's much hotter, it's much drier, there's elevation, there's mountain lions, there's grizzly bears. I feel like there's just more you need to know. And it's not like you're just like taking a leisurely walk up a rock. Like, no, you're like scrambling up rocks.
Yeah, we definitely have like some hikes that you can do here that are like, you can plan for it to be just a trail and it's pretty much flat. And then there's some like a little bit more complicated, but out west, there's definitely, that's where I always hear like, no, you have to have your gear. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be on it.
Yeah. When Jen and I went out in December, I said, well, talking about different trails and like our itinerary, what we were going to do. And I was talking about one, like they're all like, none of them are particularly short either hikes. And I was like, oh, well, we could do this one, but it's like 6 miles. And he's like, 6 miles, that'll take us like an hour. And I'm like, no, like alltrails.com or whatever is saying it'll take us 4, you know?
It's like a half-day trip.
Yeah. So it's just kind of funny. But they were beautiful. I highly recommend. Just be prepared.
Yeah.
So the next one is Shenelby Hill Road. And it's also known as Munn's Wagon Trail. It's said to have powerful feminine energy that provides you the power to purify your energy, allow for forgiveness, and release old negative blockages.
Okay. We've definitely talked about that before and like different ways to do that. So if you need to have some oomph behind your your releasing ceremony, your forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, then maybe this is a place you want to go.
Yeah. So bring your paradigms and let them go there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting plant life on this trail,
Mm.
such as the sacred datura flower, which supposedly like the white flower symbolized purity and spiritual enlightenment. And apparently the Aztecs used datura for painkillers in initiation rites rituals.
Okay.
And as a narcotic for ritual sacrifices.
Okay. Very diverse options here.
Yeah.
Do you want to purify? Do you want to sacrifice?
Yeah. You know. I wonder if they did any on that area. Or this probably grows multiple places anyway. I just had a thought. And then the actual vortex is said to be on Calpi rock formation.
Okay.
And if you look at pictures of it, it looks like you know, a cow poop.
Yeah.
Mound formation. And it's about an 8-mile out and back trail. So it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
To get to.
All right. So. You got to be really determined for that release.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're going to go, bring everything that's bothering you. And
leave it along the way.
You need to let go. See your daturas. Get some narcotics from those. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. So then there's the Shaman's Cave or Robber's Roost Cave. Okay. And it's called that because it used to be a popular bandit hideout. And it's very difficult to get to, I guess, and hard to find, and you need an ATV or a Jeep to get to it.
Okay. I wonder where these bandits were getting those.
They probably had on horse.
Yeah.
But it was kind of hard to find much on this one. One site said that there's a portal used for time travel in it. And used in ancient shamanic medicine. And then another one said it's a secluded and spiritually significant site nestled in the Red Rock Wilderness northwest of Sedona. And it's considered a lesser known vortex because, I mean, it's hard to get to, really. And believed by some to possess potent male energy conducive to meditation and spiritual insight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And one site said that local indigenous traditions regard it as a prominent stargate. There's time travel portals there. There's stargates. There's all kind of stuff at that one. So might be worth checking out.
Anything you might need, especially if you're needing to, like, get away.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
You could hide out. Maybe that's why the robbers and bandits went there, because they could time travel out of there.
Whether or not they knew that, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah, so that would be like a really interesting one to find and see what the energy feels like there. So
I'm wondering now, like, as you're talking about them and they have these different purposes, or you might go to one specifically for whatever ceremony or ritual or outcome you're looking for. I wonder what the difference in energy feels like for people, if you can experience that in much different ways, or if it all feels kind of similar and then you have to kind of direct it toward what you're looking for.
That's a good question. A lot of what I found is that when you go to vortexes in general, is that some people feel like calm, some people feel clarity, some people feel like just tingling. You know, I think it just depends on how tapped in are you? Yeah. How purposeful are you? Are you just there and you end up feeling something, or you're going there specifically for something? I think that probably dictates also how you feel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the last one is Jordan Trail.
Okay.
And it's in the northern edge of uptown Sedona, approximately 1.5 miles one way. So like 3 miles out and back.
Okay. It sounds
like
an easier one.
Yeah. So this one says that it's easy to moderate hike.
Oh, okay. It starts out easy.
Pretty much. And it's got about an elevation gain of about 200 feet.
Okay.
So I guess some highlights along the trail is Devil's Kitchen sinkhole, Sphinx rock formation, and then these juniper groves. And the juniper trees, especially in this area, all grow kind of twisty. And people say, legends say, it's because of the vortex energy.
Mm-hmm.
But some people refute that, saying that there's junipers in other areas that aren't vortexes that spiral.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they have like really soft woods, so wind kind of like makes them twisty.
Mm-hmm.
But we did see those out there, those twisty, and I was wondering why they were that way. So
yeah,
I like the idea that it's from the energy.
Mm-hmm.
It is not one of like the primary ones, obviously the vortexes that we talked about, but it is considered by some to possess subtle energy conducive to meditation and reflection. And then a particular spot along the trail, characterized as an opening on the right-hand side, has been described as a serene location for meditation and spiritual connection, offering both sun and shade.
Okay.
And this one is said to be ideal for beginners because it's mostly flat.
Okay. So the trail is better for newbies to hiking, I guess.
Yeah, or like if you just want a more like spiritual connection, you just want to go hike, just walk, it's a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the last one. I mean, there was others. I just kept finding others. It was like some of them was just like, oh, this is a vortex, and it was not much explanation about why, or people claim it is. But these are kind of the ones that are documented, so to speak.
Yeah.
That most people will have a reaction to. And just a note about Sedona is that you could go there year round. It is an altitude of 5,000 feet above sea level. So the best time weather-wise is to go from March until May, and that's like when everything's in bloom.
Yeah.
And then from September until November when the weather is mild.
Yeah.
And then the summer temperatures can get very, very hot, like up into the hundreds. And there's not a lot of shade, and it's not a lot of cloud cover. So it is very hot. And if you do want to go, bring a lot of water and sun protection. And then it does snow at times because it is in the higher elevations. So you have to be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
So
making sure that you're like planning appropriately for that sort of trip, and not just like what your intention is or what you want to connect with, but knowing the environment too.
And the temperatures do like wildly, like during the day it could be like 80s, and in the evening it could be like into the low 60s, like 50s. Like it goes pretty
a wide range.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Sedona or Arizona, but when I went to New Mexico, we went in the summer, and it was like you could stand outside and it's 105 degrees, and you go underneath a tree and it's like 10-15 degrees less, just the being under the shade. And that vast difference is what you notice from like daytime to nighttime. So I could see how that would be there too.
Definitely. My dogs are howling right now. So if you hear that in the background, I am sorry. They're literally howling like a bunch of wolves. But anyway. So that's all about Sedona Vortexes and this month's Vortex episode. We have an email now. Yeah. So it's curiousmysticspodcast@gmail.com. And I would love for you to tell us where we should go next as far as vortexes. Mm-hmm. And if you've had any experiences, write in, and we can, if you want us to, we can read about them.
Seriously, at this point, we've made it so easy to contact us, so contact us.
Seriously, come on, guys. We want to hear.
You can email, you can send messages, you can reach out. Just reach out.
Yeah. So, and I'll leave the links for the information where I got the information from as well in the show notes.
Yeah. I wonder how wild it must have been when people first started realizing that these vortexes were there, and that like the energy was different, or that you could use it in certain ways. Like the first people to really hone in on that. I wonder how wild it was for them.
Oh, I'm sure they were just like, holy cow, this feels crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting that it's all across the world. There's these spots. And like, and they're all very fairly ancient, like ancient based. So
Yeah.
it's like all these ancient cultures across the world that aren't even connecting to each other are experiencing these different things and documenting them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm having some thoughts about that now, and I'm curious to find out more. But since this is going to be a series, maybe it's something that we can open up a little bit more as time goes on.
Yeah, actually, I was just thinking about like, oh, maybe we should find out some documentation that's out there. All
All
right.
right.
So until next time, stay
Curious.